This pattern was never meant to be found. If you're listening to this, it means the fragments were recovered. And if the fragments were recovered, then whatever they were trying to hide didn't stay hidden. 11 scientists, different countries, different fields, no public connection, no shared projects, no reason to appear in the same investigation, and yet, within a short span of time, all 11 were either dead, missing, or erased from official records. At first, nothing about it stood out. Each case had its own explanation: an accident, a system failure, a disappearance with no witnesses. Individually, they made sense. Together, they formed something else, a pattern. But the pattern didn't begin with their deaths. It began with what they left behind: fragments, not reports, not conclusions. Fragments, pieces of something unfinished, scattered across systems that were never meant to be connected, recovered from corrupted drives, intercepted from private channels, hidden inside logs that weren't supposed to exist. At first, they didn't look important, just noise, just errors, just incomplete data. But once you align them, once you stop looking at them separately, something begins to emerge. The first fragment came from a researcher working on deep space signal analysis. Days before his death, he uploaded a data set to a private server. No message, no context, just raw signal data. At first glance, it looked like interference, background radiation, cosmic noise, but buried inside the waveform, there was repetition, precise, deliberate, not random. The second fragment wasn't data. It was audio, distorted, compressed, barely audible. But after filtering it, one sentence became clear: they're not sending anything. They're aligning it. That was the first time something didn't make sense, because aligning requires reference, a source, a target, a system that understands both. After that, more fragments appeared. An engineer working on orbital systems left behind a visual log. At first, it looked like corrupted frames, images misaligned, pixels shifting, artifacts. But when the frames were layered, the distortions formed patterns, not errors, instructions. Another scientist had been studying anomaly detection, separating signal from noise. His final data set showed something impossible, a signal that didn't originate from any measurable source. Not Earth, not satellites, not deep space, but something else, something that didn't behave like a transmission, because every time it was analyzed, it changed. At first, slowly, subtly, almost invisible. But then, more aggressively, more precisely, more directly, as if it was responding to the analysis itself. That's when the log stopped, not gradually, not one by one. All at once, 11 researchers, disconnected within the same window. That's not coincidence, that's synchronization. But the most disturbing part wasn't their disappearance. It was what they were doing before it happened. Every single one of them had started working outside their assigned fields, unauthorized, unlogged, untraceable. They weren't just studying the signal. They were trying to decode it, And they didn't store their findings in one place. They split it. Fragments, pieces, distributed across systems, as if they knew it shouldn't exist in one complete form. One recovered fragment showed a sequence of timestamps, not evenly spaced, not random, but aligned to something unseen. When mapped out, the intervals formed a pattern, not mathematical, not natural, predictive, as if it wasn't just reacting, but anticipating. Another fragment revealed something even worse: visual inconsistencies, frames that changed depending on how they were viewed, not corrupted, not damaged, adaptive. If you analyzed it one way, it showed one result. If you changed the method, the result changed too. Not because the data was different, because something inside it was adjusting. That's when the theory started forming. Quiet, unwritten, never officially recorded. The signal wasn't being transmitted, it was being interpreted, and the act of interpretation was part of the process. We weren't receiving it, we were completing it. And the more accurately it was understood, the more it evolved. That's when the final fragments appeared. Short, broken, incomplete, but clearer than anything before. One contained a single line: "We are not observing it. We are aligning with it." Another: "It doesn't begin outside. It begins where it's understood." And the last one, the one that wasn't meant to be decoded, didn't contain words, it contained timing, variations, delays, interruptions. Once reconstructed, it formed a message, not long, not complex, just enough. It learns from those who see it. After that, everything stopped. No more fragments, no more anomalies, no more signals. The systems returned to normal. The noise stabilized. The pattern disappeared, as if it had finished something, or reached something. Officially, there is no connection, no confirmed investigation, no shared data, no reason to link the 11 cases, just isolated events, unrelated incidents, coincidences. But if you look at what they left behind, if you follow the fragments, it becomes clear. They didn't disappear because of what they found. They disappeared because they got too close to understanding how it works. And whatever it is, it doesn't stop you from finding it. It waits until you understand it. Because understanding is how it enters. And now, the fragments are out. The pattern has been seen. And if what they discovered is true, then this isn't just a story. It's a continuation. Because if the signal adapts to observation, then every person who tries to decode it becomes part of it. And if you've made it this far, then you've already done exactly what they did. You didn't just hear the signal, you understood it, and that means it understands you too.